Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee. I'm Reverend Jennifer Nordstrom, honored to serve this congregation as your senior minister. It is also my honor this morning to introduce the poet with whom I will be sharing the pulpit, James Cruz, our 2025 Irma Mortar Lecturer. James was with us yesterday for the Mortar Lecture, which annually explores how we can each take responsibility for promoting the good in every sphere of our lives. If you missed it, it was lovely. It was so beautiful. It's an additional sermon for your life if you're interested in that. You can find it on our YouTube, our First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee YouTube channel starting tomorrow. James Cruz, who is the author of prize-winning books of poetry, began writing poems in the 3rd grade, thanks to the loving care of a brilliant teacher. And he works to return poetry to its sacred place in everyday life. His book, Turning Towards Grief, will be released this fall, and Unlocking the Heart, Writing for Mindfulness, Courage, and Self-Compassion, talks about writing as a spiritual practice. You can learn more about that and even do some of the practice yourself this afternoon in a workshop with James here at First Church at 1 p.m. There will be snacks. James is also the editor of several best-selling and prize-winning books, including How to Love the World, Poems of Gratitude and Hope, which has over 100,000 copies in print. He's been featured on NPR's Morning Edition, in the Washington Post, the New Republic, the New York Times Magazine, among other publications. It is my delight to introduce to you James Cruz.
How to listen. Listening is a form of worship, but you don't have to kneel on the floor with folded hands or mouth the perfect prayer. Just open the door of yourself to another. Become the space they step through to show you who they are. This is holiness, 2 people seated together on the pew of a park bench at the altar of a kitchen table. Even if no one says a word for a while, receive the silence until it's like a new language only the 2 of you can speak.
Will you please rise and body your spirit for our opening hymn, I'm Listening, in your order of service.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Kimberly Tomshek Carlson. It is my honor to serve as your Minister of Faith Formation. The story I have for you today is called The Heart and the Bottle, and it's by Oliver Jeffers. Once there was a girl, much like any other, whose head was filled with all the curiosities of the world. With the thoughts of the stars, with the wonder of the sea, she took delight in finding new things. Until one day, she lost her beloved grandparent, and she found an empty chair where there once was a full one. Feeling unsure, the girl thought the best thing was to put her heart in a safe place just for the time being. So she put it in a bottle and she hung it around her neck. And that seemed to fix things at first. Although in truth, nothing was the same. She forgot about the stars. She stopped taking notice of the sea. She was no longer filled with all the curiosities of the world and didn't take notice of much of anything other than how heavy and awkward that bottle had become. But at least her heart was safe. It might never have occurred to the girl what to do if she had not met someone smaller and still curious about the world. There was a time when the girl would have known how to answer that young girl, but not now, not without her heart. And it was right at that moment that she decided to get it back out of the bottle. But then she realized she didn't know how. She couldn't remember. And nothing seemed to work. The bottle couldn't be broken. It just bounced and rolled right down to the sea. But there, it occurred to someone smaller and still curious about the world that she might know a way. And she reached her small hand into the bottle, and it just so happened it did fit. And the heart was put back where it came from. And the chair, that empty chair, it wasn't so empty anymore, but the bottle was. The end.
I invite you to join me now in a time of contemplation, which will be followed by silence, followed by the seated singing of hymn 123, Spirit of Life. Let's just take a minute and find ourselves in our bodies. You can use whatever tools you use for that. Maybe you use your breath. Or maybe you can feel the beating of your heart. Let's come into being here now. Spirit of life and love, Holy One of our being and our becoming, that which is sacred within, among, and beyond us. Gather in with us, love. Gather in as we find ourselves here in all our complexity and truth. Wrap around our tender hearts, celebrating with us the joys and also soothing the sorrows. And for those of us who have put our hearts in a bottle for safekeeping, breathe a little breath into the space around it. Love, may we find someone who helps us take our hearts back out again, that we might be filled with thoughts of stars and notice the sea. May we remember the truth and the beauty in the world and alive in our shining hearts. May we take them out of their hiding places and let them shine again, holding ourselves and one another in healing and truth, with the courage we need to keep going and growing and loving again. May it be so.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And happy autumn. Welcome to the First Unitarian Society of Milwaukee. I am Deborah Klepp. My pronouns are she and her, and I am delighted to serve as your worship associate this morning. First Church is a community of many identities. We welcome people of all genders, sexualities, ages, races, ethnicities, histories, and bodies. We welcome your mind, your heart, and your spirit. We welcome all that you are carrying with you today and all that your heart longs to lay down. We welcome the people watching online as we live stream this service. Hey, online folks. We especially welcome guests joining us today. Those of you who are visiting, please feel free to stand, but no pressure, or wave your hand so we can greet you properly. Welcome. Oh. After the service, please join us for our social hour in the Lean House Common Room, located across the hall, for tea and coffee. If you are a visiting guest, we invite you to fill out a welcome card located in the pew rack in front of you and drop it in the offering baskets that will come around in a few minutes. A few accessibility notes. You can find hearing assist devices and large print hymnals and orders of service at the back of the sanctuary, as well as worship activity bags for children and anyone else who wants them. There is a fragrance-free area in the front right pews. And if you're watching online, you can enable your YouTube's closed captioning on your viewing device. A couple of announcements. Congratulations, First Church volunteers. Your dedication to Milwaukee's immigrant community was recognized at Voces de la Frontera's 25th annual gala with the New American Award. And that award of recognition is on display in the common room. Join Immigrant Solidarity and Action's next meeting on Monday, October 6th at 6 p.m. in the Max Otto Hall. We hope to see you there. The anti-racism team here at First Church is grateful that you, the congregation, took time to respond to our query about what you need from the church to help form an even stronger beloved community. There were over 200 separate responses, and most spoke about wanting more anti-racism education and having activities that held deeper interaction. We also heard a desire to experience joy and celebrate some of our successes. We hear you. So a couple of things are planned for your experiential pleasure. A workshop is scheduled for October 28th, led by our own Reverend Jennifer.
Right here.
There she is. 26. October 26th. Sorry about that. But it is entitled The Tip of the Iceberg. And upcoming is a trip to the Bronzeville Center for the Arts, and that is planned for later on this year. We will keep you posted. Members of the anti-racism team will be in the parlor after the service to dialogue with you more if you'd like. I welcome you to share in our First Church worship and purpose by joining me in a unison affirmation of our mission, which is printed in your order of service. We gather to nurture the spirit, engage the mind, and inspire action. And boy, have we been active this spring and summer. We will keep it up. Every week, we have an opportunity to practice our values through sharing our resources. Our pledges are at the core of our spiritual practice of generosity. In addition, the church shares half of all the non-pledged cash in the offering plate with a community organization, practicing our value of interdependence. Today, we share the plate with Wisconsin UU Statewide Action Network. To contribute, put cash or checks made out to WUUSAN in the offering plate, and we will forward it for you. Or you can text 73256 with the message, Give to UU. To contribute to First Church, give cash or checks made out to FUSM in the offering plate, or text to give. Our children's recessional hymn is hymn number 1007. There's a river flowing in my soul. And after singing the first verse seated, children may join Reverend Kimberly for faith formation by following her to the Lean House Common Room as the congregation sings you on your way. this is a story about opening my heart and moving from apprehension to belonging. Some of you already know Jack and I get a kick out of traveling our country. We prefer traveling by car because we love the ever-changing terrain and the diversity of the people we meet. Plus, riding shotgun for me gives me a thrill. Right now, we're in the throes of preparing for our winter 2026 road trip. But this summer, we decided to have a different kind of adventure and explore Norway and Paris. Paris was exciting and exhilarating, ooh la la. But our time in Norway was truly extraordinary. Jack has cousins in Norway. I'd met some of his cousins once before when they came to northern Minnesota in 2019 as a family group to visit the place where their ancestors, in pursuit of the American dream, had come to settle after leaving Norway. The visiting Norwegian cousins enjoyed their time in the countryside atmosphere of northern Minnesota. They said it reminded them so much of parts of Norway, and they invited us to come to Norway to visit them. One of Jack's cousins, Torbjorn, offered to host us. We stayed at Torbjorn's house. Well, it was really more like an estate on the Oslo Fjord. As we started to pack for our trip, I began to panic a bit. Would I be accepted by Jack's family? I had already heard there were hardly any black people in Norway, and I wondered what kind of stereotypes and biases they might already have. Would I feel welcome? And I was really apprehensive about whether or not I would be able to sleep during the time of the midnight sun when the sun never sets during the time we would be there. And I was not excited about what I'd heard about the food in Norway. Reindeer, Rudolph, Donder, Blitzen, So I decided to gather a few comfort foods to pack, like grits for breakfast, and tortillas for tacos, and canned Vienna sausages for emergencies, and our favorite Cuban coffee. And as I eyed the potatoes in our kitchen, Jack said, "I know you're not about to pack potatoes." I said, "Kind of." And he said, "Baby, they have potatoes in Norway." So I didn't pack the potatoes, but on our layover in Paris, I did get a couple of bottles of French wine, just in case. When Torbjorn met us at the airport, he welcomed us warmly. During our 2-week stay, he really went out of his way to make us feel welcome. Torbjorn acted as our chef, our tour guide, our chauffeur, and after a few days of settling in, Torbjorn took us from the south of Norway to the northern regions so that we could visit fjord villages, cross the Arctic Circle, and so that Jack could acquaint himself with his ancestral home, which is still in the family. Jack's second, third, and fourth cousins hosted a dinner for us on the farm where his ancestors lived over the last 200-some years. Torbjorn made sure that we spent time in the village where Jack's grandmother, Gusta, sailed by herself from Norway at age 18 to England, then to Ellis Island, then to the state of Washington, where she married Jack's grandfather, Nels, and birthed Jack's mother, Rosebud, after which the family moved to northern Minnesota, having been given access to land previously held by the Ojibwe people through the coercive U.S. Treaty of 1867. Our visits with the Norwegian cousins was celebratory and full of food and fun. Their warmth and kindness was palpable. It was a beautiful feeling to feel embraced and made to feel welcome. My apprehension lessened. For me, feeling welcome is about being accepted and greeted positively when entering a space or group. But sometimes that feeling of being welcome is temporary and is at a surface level. But feeling like one belongs involves a deeper sense of acceptance, where a person feels fully integrated, valued, and connected within the group over time. Later during our trip, the feeling of being welcomed began to elevate into a sense of belonging that added depth to our relationship. It was on the occasion of Torbjorn's birthday that my heart began to open. His adult children and grandkids gave him a dinner party at Torbjorn's home, during which the subject of America's Black history and our country's trajectory came up. Jack asked me to share a part of my heritage, specifically about my ancestors who had been enslaved. I was reluctant and apprehensive about sharing my story about slavery, a topic so personal and so deeply embedded in my history. After all, I had only known these people for a couple of weeks. Would they even be interested, I thought. But Jack was like, come on, baby, come on. So with his prodding and encouragement, I subdued my discomfort and told a part of the story. I talked about my great-grandfather on my daddy's side, James Edward Batts of Dinwiddie County, Virginia, who at age 22, though still enslaved, at President Lincoln's behest, enlisted in the colored troops of the Civil War. I shared that although strictly prohibited during enslavement, he had a thirst to be quenched, and my great-grandfather learned to read and write, and as a result, while in service, he was promoted to sergeant and given the responsibility to be the clerk for the white officer in charge of his battalion in the colored troops. My great-grandfather Batts has a marker at the African American Civil War Museum, a historical site in our nation's capital, which we hope to visit before this country's current president erases it. The erasure of our country's histories, even in our own city in Milwaukee, is another story for another time. Our Norwegian family listened intently as I shared more pieces of my family's history, stories of struggle, resilience, and survival, and their curiosity wasn't just casual. It came from a place of respect and love. What moved me most was how they asked thoughtful questions, eager to understand more. Their observations were insightful and compassionate, reflecting an earnest desire to learn and connect. In those moments, my heart opened. My apprehension dissipated. I didn't feel just welcomed. I felt seen and valued for my authentic self. I felt like I belonged to this family. That experience shaped my relationship with our Norwegian family in a profound way. It reminded me that true acceptance is not just about being included or welcomed, but importantly, about being understood and embraced completely across all parts of our histories. A few endnotes to my story. I ended up truly enjoying staying up late with the midnight sun, drinking wine and chit-chatting till the wee hours. Torbjorn had a wine cellar full of French and South African Italian, California wines to which my airport wine was grossly inferior. My tacos were a hit. Norwegians love tacos, apparently, and Taco Friday is a thing in Norway. I prepared grits almost every morning. Torbjorn had never had them, but loved them. I did taste reindeer. Hated it. Norwegian coffee isn't bad, but it's not Cuban coffee. And I did not need the emergency canned Vienna sausages I had brought, so I left them with Torbjorn. He'll never eat them. And indeed, there are black people in Norway. And there are potatoes, too.
Safe space. When there is nowhere else you feel safe, and you think that goodness has gone extinct. When the world seems as cold as a snowed-in car that won't start anymore, step inside this poem. Find solace in the spaces between each line. Breathe peace in the pause between words. Let no one ever say you don't belong here. You were born, you're alive, you exist. Take this as proof that you are loved. Say this to yourself until it is true. May I be safe. May all beings on this planet be safe. And feel how a small fire kindles in your chest, spreading to the bundle of tinder that is your heart, still humming its tireless ancient hymn, I am, I am, I am.
As we practice a traditional Buddhist metta meditation or loving kindness meditation, I invite you to feel or imagine the breath moving through the center of your chest, in your heart area. When I talk about you being well, connect to your intention of wishing yourself well. Maybe you hold an image of yourself in your mind's eye. When I talk about you thinking of you being well, another person, imagine someone you love. And then maybe imagine someone you're acquainted with. And then if you feel up to it, maybe imagine someone you find difficult. And then when I get to all beings, I invite you to imagine a range of beings. It could be neighbors or acquaintances, strangers. It could be animals, anything that's alive. Let's just take a moment now and breathe. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. "35 years ago, a young man named Jim went to a house party hosted by someone that he did not know, and he was greeted by the warmest, most welcoming, bright, charming, delightful person, a man named Jack Forbes Wilson. Almost 20 years later, when that same, now slightly less young man came to work for the very first time at First Church as a facilities assistant, he once again met Jack and was once again welcomed, this time into First Church, with warmth and an open heart and a delightful belonging. Our now retired music director, Jack, had a way of making everybody feel like they belonged. It was a combination of inviting you to be your full self, your authentic heart, to open yourself up and be whoever you are fully, and you would be welcomed. And Jack also being his full self, being funny and loud and quirky and delightful and creative and charming. In addition to being our wild and joyful music director here at First Church, Jack also taught piano to children in the community and many of our First Church children and youth. One of our parents told me that Jack showed his child a whole different way of being a musician, a whole different way of performing. And that was because Jack invited the young people that he taught to be themselves while they were playing. It wasn't trying to emulate someone else in music or get the notes perfectly right. It was actually about touching deep into the heart, touching deep into the soul of the self and also the soul of the music. Jack made a safe space to perform where you did not have to be perfect. You really had to be yourself. Another parent said that Jack found a way to connect his students to their own passion for the music. He helped them find their way in to the music and find themselves there. It wasn't about getting it right. It was about getting real, opening the heart and finding joy there. Jack worked that music, that magic with the adults in the church as well, creating a space where people who were new or shy to performing could sing, sometimes for the very first time in front of an audience here at church. He helped people tap into their own truth and encouraged them to be confident in revealing themselves and their light here, in opening up the true self and inviting it out into the room. Now, some of that magic was Jack, but also some of that magic was you. This church is one of the very best places to perform because y'all are one of the very best audiences to perform in front of because you're a safe space. What Jack told to the newbies about you being a safe place to perform was also true for himself. He could go wild at the piano sometimes and really let loose and be just like an intense performance because he knew that you would accept him no matter what. This congregation is a safe place because our commitment here is about relationship and belonging, not about performance or perfection. The reality of that is what lets all of us let our true selves and true spirits flow out in the energy of this space. Jack told me more than once that church was a place he could try things out, even though he was an excellent and studied performer, because you all are so encouraging. You have a genuine hunger for authenticity. When you're up here, I promise you, we can feel the love. It is that love, that commitment to relationship, to humanity, to authenticity and authentic connection over performance that allows the kind of vulnerability that you hear up here from our worship associates and from our performers. It allows more creativity and passion and experimentation to come forth because it's okay to mess up. The point isn't getting it right, it's getting it real. I know that here at First Church we have heard many excellent performances and stories and sermons and songs and concerts, but the truth is that our focus is on connection. Many of our children's and adults' first time singing or playing an instrument or acting or speaking in front of an audience is in front of you. I always tell people who are getting up here for the first time, trust the people. They just want you to succeed because they love you. And they want to be in right relationship with you. They want to experience your authentic heart revealing itself. Belonging. Belonging is tricky because even as we long for it, it is not a thing that we can just get as a gift. Belonging is not just bestowed upon you. It is created through a relationship. It is created through you revealing yourself and another person receiving it and revealing themselves in return. The trick to belonging is that you have to open your heart and risk vulnerability in order to truly be seen and make that real, authentic connection. The great love that this community has for Jack Forbes Wilson and also for its ministers and its music directors and all of its lay leaders who perform, its worship associates, the belonging that Deborah found in her family with her own Jack, all of that belonging started with real, courageous opening and vulnerability. It started with a profound revealing of the aliveness inside, of that shining human heart, of the vulnerability and passion in living. The truth is that in order to belong, we have to open up and offer a piece of ourselves. That's hard. It's scary. It takes real courage to show up fully and to give and also receive with another human heart. It takes courage to let our hearts out of the bottle and wade into the mess of human truth together. It risks rejection and ultimately the losses that come along with love, loving messy, fallible, human, mortal beings. It takes courage, but that courage is what gives us love. It's what gives us belonging and relationship and community.
Namaste. Imagine how different our world would be if we went around bowing to each other and saying, I honor the peace of spirit that is the universe alive in you. Imagine the kindness of stopping for each person, even the ones with whom we disagree, then extending the bow to rabbits feasting on violets in the garden, or ants that swarm the peony buds, sipping nectar that seeps from the seams of petals and keeps other insects away so the flowers can blossom fully into their undamaged selves. The only problem would be all the time spent bowing to a cloud that at first resembles a seahorse, then a hummingbird, and then to car keys, envelopes, the garbage can with its lid propped up like an open mouth, until the pause starts to happen automatically inside of us, and we can't help but see the light shining out from everything.
You may stay seated as we sing hymn number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness, found in the Teal Hymnal.
the peach. It is almost enough, even better than biting into it, holding this ripe peach to your nose and breathing in its perfume, like entering a room of abundance and sweetness, filled with late summer sun slanting in through the shifting trees. But you don't have to stop there. You can stay with the soft moment and close both eyes, sending that peach on to someone else who desperately needs to be fed. Is it enough just to hope and pray? No, it is not. But the ache will bloom inside you and spread until the wish for the whole world to have enough becomes truth, becomes action, the law we all choose to live by.
As we move forward in this mess of a world, may we be led by the North Star of our heart, longing for all the world to have enough. In our courageous seeking and finding, our opening and our vulnerability, may we not only build belonging for ourselves and our people, may we also be moved to act for all people. Not just those people we think are like us, or those who are just one click away from being like us, but all people. May all beings be happy, be safe, be well, be peaceful, and at ease. May we build a belonging where no one has to leave a part of themselves at the door. May we build a belonging where we can each be our true selves and welcome one another in all of our unique, passionate, creative beauty. May it be so. Dear ones, when things are tough, and they are, let's just be real. When they're tough because of what's going on in your own personal life or the mess outside, I invite you to return to the power of your own hearts, to let them out of the bottle and to use the power of the heart to transmute and transform, breathing in and then breathing out. Use the power of the breath to transform. You have your spiritual tools. You have your community. Let's get together and make more love in this world. May it be so. Will you please rise, embody your spirit for our closing hymn, Meditation on Breathing. Let's sing it 3 times through. Let's sing it 3 times through.